So the sound you're hearing right now is from a preset in AXIS Oblivion Mutes called Bulldozer. As the name suggests, it has tons of low-end energy and an imposing presence. So let's break down how this patch gets its aggressive and grungy flavor. Right off the bat, we can see that there's just a single sound source and that it's driven by a 16-step sequence. From there, the expression and tone shaping comes from the sound character right here and the 3 effects modules, color, punch, and dirt. So let's start by just stripping everything away and listening to the source by itself. Still a cool sound, but it's definitely missing the vibe and expression we had before. The first process in our signal flow is the sound character. This acts as a quick way to make tonal adjustments to the source itself. The characters range from subtle filtering like clean, bright, and thin, to more aggressive options like fire and fuzz. In this patch, we have it set to fat, which warms up the sound and adds a pinch of harmonic saturation. We're also cranking the volume up 12 dB to kick the saturation into overdrive. Now, let's take a look at color. As you can hear, the color module really brings everything to life by responding to the velocity sequence up here. Let me flatten everything out real quick and dial in each knob. Hue sets the filter cutoff. Range is similar, but responds to the velocity. And bite is much more aggressive, with an envelope. So let's dial these in, and now hue becomes much more expressive. A great example of how these controls build off of each other to shape the sound. Moving on to punch, we're using the smack control to add some dynamic processing. At lower settings, it adds a subtle edge to the sound. But crank it up, and it adds some gritty, dynamic crunch. Now let's add dirt back to the mix. This adds some fairly aggressive tape saturation. We can dial it back with drive, or completely obliterate the tape machine. We can use tone to mellow things out, or add a bit more edge. And we're back where we started. Now it's your turn. Head over to barcodeindustries.com to dive into AXIS. And if you want more production tips, hit subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got plenty more on the way. Catch you in the next one.